Welcome to the tutorial for Impossible Creatures, a game which takes solid RTS gameplay set in an imaginative and vibrant world and allows you to design your own units so that you can play the game on your terms using your strategies. When you're ready, click on the Continue button in order to proceed. On the bottom part of your screen is the taskbar. It displays information about the units that you have selected, as well as the island that you're battling on. In the center of the taskbar is the minimap. The minimap provides you with a high-level view of the island that you are on. It indicates which areas you have yet to explore by shading those areas in gray. As you progress through the game, you will be asked to do a variety of objectives. When given a new objective, the Objectives button will flash. Press the flashing button on the right-hand side of your taskbar now to bring up the objective screen. Now let's get started. Now I will teach you how to control the camera. We'll begin by panning the camera. To pan the camera in any direction, move the mouse cursor to the edge of the screen in the direction that you wish to pan. Try panning the camera now. Well done! You can keep on panning the camera now until you feel comfortable with panning. Then click on the Continue button when you're ready to proceed. You can also zoom in and out by rolling your mouse wheel forwards and backwards, or by pressing the zoom in and zoom out keys on your keyboard. Zoom the camera now. Excellent. Continue zooming in and out. When you're ready to move on, click on the Continue button. You can also rotate your view. To rotate the camera, hold down the Alt key on your keyboard and move the mouse left or right. Rotate the camera now. Good job! Keep on rotating the camera until you're comfortable with camera rotation. Once you've finished rotating, click on the Continue button. To quickly return to the default view at any time, press the default camera view key on your keyboard. Press the default camera view key now in order to return to default view. And that's all there is to camera control. I will now teach you how to select and control your units. To issue an order to a unit under your control, first you need to select. Now you can order him to move by right-clicking on the ground. Move the henchman out to the exit of the jungle by pressing the right mouse button. Excellent. You can also click on the ground that is darkened out in order to move units a long way. Continue to move the henchman back to the village. You will notice a blip on your minimap. This shows you where the village is located. To select multiple units at a time, you can drag select them. To drag select units, press and hold the left mouse button on an empty piece of ground. Then move your mouse across the units you wish to select, keeping the left mouse button held down. When the box covers all of the units you wish to select, let go of the left mouse button.
Ready, boss. All right.
Select both of the henchmen at the village now by drag selecting them. Well done! You've successfully learnt the basics of controlling your units. Now I will teach you about resource gathering. This is the lab. The lab is a very important structure. Without it, you're unable to create henchmen which build structures for you. In Impossible Creatures, everything that you build costs a certain amount of resources. The types of resources available are coal and electricity. The amount of coal and electricity you currently have is displayed in the top left-hand corner of your screen. Coal is displayed in blue and electricity is displayed in orange. The number displayed in green tells you the maximum number of units that you can have in the world at one time, and is called the population cap. To begin collecting resources, you need henchmen. Henchmen are built from the lab. To build a henchman, select the lab. Select the lab now. You will now see a Create Henchman button on the lower right-hand side of the taskbar. Clicking on it will begin production of one henchman. You can left-click on the button many times in order to build more than one unit. Go ahead and build 2 henchmen now by clicking on the Create Henchman button twice. Now that you have some henchmen, you can begin to collect resources. This is coal. You use your henchmen to collect coal by issuing them a gather order. To do this, select your henchman and then right-click on the coal pile. Collect 100 coal now by selecting the henchman, then right-clicking on the coal pile.
Hello? You're the boss.
The other type of resource is electricity. Electricity is gathered by building lightning rods and electrical generators. To begin building a lightning rod, first select a henchman. Now click on the Build button that's flashing in the bottom right. You will now see a list of structures that you can build. Right now, all you can build is the lightning rod. Click on the lightning rod button now. You now place the structure by moving your mouse cursor over to the ground and left-clicking on the location you want it built. Go ahead and place the lightning rod shadow somewhere on the terrain by left-clicking on the ground when the shadow is green.
Oh.
The more henchmen you have building a structure, the faster it will build. If you want to build things faster, select another henchman, and then right-click on the lightning rod that is currently being constructed. Now that you've built a lightning rod, you'll automatically collect more electricity. The other way of collecting electricity is by building electrical generators on geysers which are scattered around the islands. This is a geyser. You build an electrical generator in the same way that you build a lightning rod. Select a henchman. Now click on the Build button. Now click on the Electrical Generator button. Now place the electrical generator in the world. The only place that you can build electrical generators is on top of geysers. That's all there is to know about collecting resources. Remember, the faster you are able to collect resources, the faster you will be able to build an army. Structures allow you to do many things such as build creatures and research technology. I will now teach you how to build structures and access some of their more advanced features. Structures are built in the same way that you build a lightning rod and an electrical generator. To begin, we will build a creature chamber. Select a henchman. Now click on the Build button in the right-hand side of the taskbar. Now click on the Creature Chamber button. Now place the structure. The creature chamber is the structure that allows you to build creatures that you have created a genetic blueprint for in the Army Builder. Now let's do some research. To research, select the structure that you wish to research from, which in this case is the lab. You can see in the right-hand side of the taskbar all of the different research options available at this structure. The 4 buttons displayed indicate higher creature research levels. The buttons that are grayed out cannot be researched yet, but will be available later once you have advanced to a higher level. Research Level 2 creatures now by clicking on the first button in the list. Many research options have prerequisites. In order to see what you need to build before you can begin researching an item that is unavailable, hold your mouse cursor over the button for a second or two. Help text will be displayed which will inform you of what needs to be built in order to gain access to the research item.
Hello. You're the boss.
Now let's combine some creatures. In the single-player game, you'll be able to create genetic blueprints by entering the Army Builder. To enter the Army Builder, click on the Army Management button located in the top right-hand side of the taskbar. Click on it now and follow the instructions to create a few genetic blueprints for your army. Creating genetic blueprints and then using them for battle is what Impossible Creatures is all about. The Army Builder and Creature Combiner is where you create these genetic blueprints and add them to your army. You are then able to build these creatures in the game from the Creature Chamber. This is the Army Builder. The Army Builder shows you all of the genetic blueprints that you currently have in your army. In order to create a genetic blueprint and add it to your army, you must first combine two stock animals together. Click on an empty slot in your army list, and then click on the Combiner button that is flashing now. This is the Creature Combiner screen. This screen allows you to mix two stock animals together to create a genetic blueprint. First of all, you need to select the stock that you wish to combine. Click on the Select Animal button on the left-hand side of the screen. Here is a list of all the stock animal types that you have available to you. In the single-player game, you will have to collect the genetic samples from animals yourself. In multiplayer, you will have access to all of the stock animals whether you have collected them or not. There are dozens of different animals to choose from, but for now, let's just work with a few to keep things simple. Select one of the animals now by left-clicking on it once. You can see all of the attributes for the animal that you've selected down in the lower half of the screen. If you wish to find out more details about what a certain number or icon represents, you can access the help text by hovering your mouse over a part of the screen for a second or two. Why don't you spend some time reading through the text displayed on this page and familiarize yourself with the information? Once you're done, select one of the animals and click on the Accept button. Great! Now all we need is one more creature and we're ready to start mixing limbs up. To choose a second animal, click on the Select Animal button over on the right-hand side of the screen. Good. Now pick another animal in the list and press Accept again to make that animal the second piece of the puzzle. In the middle of the screen, you can now see the result of your selections, and quite a magnificent beast it is, too. On the left and right-hand sides of the creature are a collection of buttons that represent the individual limbs of your combined creature. These buttons allow you to select which limbs you want to incorporate into your combination. Click on. In the bottom half of the screen are the various attributes of the combined creature. Changing which limbs are assigned to the creature will change the value of these attributes and abilities that the creature has. Once you have your creature combined to your design, you can take a picture of it. The picture that you take will then be used throughout the game as a representation of your creature. To take a picture of your creature, press the camera button in the middle of the screen. Once you have combined all of the limbs to your liking, you need to save the creature. To save the creature, press the Save button. By saving the genetic blueprint you have just created, you will be adding that blueprint to your zoo. When you save the creature, you will be prompted to give it a name. Try to make it something memorable, as you will tend to have many different creatures combined after playing the game for a while. Save the creature when you are ready, and I will meet you back at the Army Builder screen. Excellent. You now have the beginnings of an army. As you can see, your newly created genetic blueprint is listed in your army. You can also add genetic blueprints to your army by selecting them from the zoo. The zoo contains a copy of all the creatures you've created so far, but don't currently have in your army. Now you know how to build an army. Now you will be able to build these creatures from the Creature Chamber when you're in the world. Click on the back button down in the left-hand corner of the screen to leave the Army Builder. The Creature Chamber is where you build all of your creatures. You built a Creature Chamber earlier in the tutorial, and you're looking at it now. To build a creature, first select the Creature Chamber. Now that you have the Creature Chamber selected, you will see a list of buttons representing all of your creatures in the bottom right-hand corner of the taskbar. To build a creature, click on the icon that represents that creature. All creatures cost a certain amount of resources, depending on how powerful they are. If you run out of resources, just tell your henchmen to go and collect some more. Go ahead and build 5 creatures now by clicking on the creature icons 5 times. Select the creatures that you've just built and move them to the village. Now that you can see the enemy creatures, you can attack them. To attack enemy units, select the creatures that you wish to attack, and then right-click on the target. Go ahead and attack the enemies with your creatures now, by selecting your creatures, then right-clicking on the enemy creatures. Well done. Triggered abilities are special attacks that some of your creatures are capable of doing. This creature is part gorilla and part electric eel. The electric eel tail gives it a special triggered ability called Electrical Burst that creates a burst of electricity that damages everything surrounding it. And we will now make this creature use his triggered ability. Go ahead and select the creature now. Now click on the Electrical Burst button that's flashing, then target the ground in front of him by left-clicking on it. Whenever the creature uses a triggered ability, he uses up some of his endurance. The blue bar below the creature represents its endurance. A creature's endurance will slowly regenerate with time. Only when the creature has enough endurance will it be able to use its triggered ability again. For now, I will set the creature's endurance to full, so you can use it again shortly. Now that you know how to use the triggered ability, use it to kill the enemy creatures over there. Well done. This is just one of the triggered abilities. Some other abilities, such as Frenzy, are triggered by simply pressing on the button. I've managed to find the location of the base that sent those animals to attack us earlier. I've also managed to come by some more genetic samples for you, so don't hesitate to go back into the army builder and combine a few to create some more genetic blueprints for your army. You can quit now, or you can continue on to test your strategic skills against the enemy.
Ready, boss.
Congratulations! You've successfully completed the tutorial for Impossible Creatures. You now know all that you need to begin your adventure. Farewell, my friend.